In a small dusty village in eastern land, where the Hamilton wind carried both stories and sorrow, there lived a poor man named Obi. Obi had nothing but a small mud house, two worn-out wrappers, and a heart that refused to break. But one evening, his wife broke it. She packed her clothes into a small basket, tied her headscarf tightly, and stood at the doorway. I cannot suffer like this, she said. Poverty is not my calling. Obi stood silent. Their only son, little Chike, held his father's leg and cried. And that night, the moon watched the man become both father and mother. And the village whispered, can a man alone raise a child? They did not know that the same night, Obi made a promise to the silent stars. My son will never beg. My son will never beg. But how would a man who had nothing give his son everything? That was the first mystery. Obi began to fight poverty like a warrior fights a lion. At dawn, before the cock crowed, he worked as a farmer, laborer. He worked as a farm laborer, digging other people's land. By afternoon, he carried firewood from the forest to sell in the market. In the evening, he tapped palm wine for the rich men who mocked him. And at night, when others slept, he guarded a warehouse in the nearby town. 4 jobs, 4 sources of pain, one reason, Chike, his son. One night, hunger knocked on his stomach, but he sent it away. Many times his hands bled, but he wrapped them in cloth and continued. When people laughed, he bowed his head. But when they were not looking, he whispered, laugh now, my son will answer you. Yet hardship is jealous. One rainy season, Obi fell sick. He lay on his mat, shaking with fever. There was no money for medicine. Will this be the end of the promise he made under the stars? Chike was no longer a small boy. He saw the cracked hands. He saw the torn sandals. He saw his father pretend not to be hungry. And one night, under a dim kerosene lamp, he cried silently over his books. I will not waste this suffering, he promised himself. Chike studied like a child running from poverty. He won scholarships. He walked miles to school. He came first in examinations.
I
The
got the
village began to
scholarship.
talk
I'm so
again.
excited. I got the
Is this not the
scholarship. I'm
son
so
of that poor
excited.
man? Years passed like harmattan dust. One day, a big car entered the village. People gathered. They had not seen this type of car before. A well-dressed young man stepped out. It was Chike. He had become a successful businessman in the city. But what he did next shocked everyone. He did not go to the chief. He did not greet the elders first. He went straight to the old mud house. His father was sleeping outside on a wooden bench. Chike knelt. Yes, knelt.
Father, I am
Father,
here. My
he
son,
said
you came
with
back.
tears, you worked 4 jobs so I could sit in offices. Today you will rest. The villagers gasped, but the story was not finished because the past was walking back into the village. The woman, Chike's mother, who had left poverty, hearing that her son had become wealthy. She returned. Arapa was finer now, her skin softer, but her eyes carried regret. She stood before the new house Chike
Father,
had built for his
this is for
father.
you, my
My
son.
son, she called softly. Chike looked at her. This was the woman who chose comfort over love. The woman who left her child crying at the doorway. Silence filled the compound. Would he reject her? Would he disgrace her publicly? Even Obi, his father, trembled. Then Chike spoke slowly. Mother, I will not insult you, but you must understand something. He turned to the villagers. Wealth built without loyalty is empty. He bought her a small
Mama, this
shop
shop
in
is for you.
another
Oh,
village,
Chike, thank
not out of love, but out of duty. But she was not allowed to return as the queen she imagined she would be in his father's house, Chike's father's house. Respect must be planted before it is harvested. She lived with the pain of watching the man she abandoned become honored. That was her retribution. Not poverty, but regret. And so, elders say, a child may forget hunger, but he will never forget who stayed when hunger came. Obi did not become rich overnight. He became rich the day his son knelt before him, and the village learned that poverty is temporary. Hard work speaks slowly but loudly. A parent's sacrifice does not die. And those who run from hardship will one day run back to shame. So when you see a man sweating for his child, do not laugh. You may be watching tomorrow's greatness being built in silence. And the moon that watched Obi cry now
Father,
shines on a
this is
house
for
built
you,
from
my son.
perseverance. Because sometimes the poorest man is only a wealthy man in disguise. Thanks, guys, for listening to this story. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so that the next one I release will be the first to get it. Thanks for watching.